belch is what I look for in the x-ray. Belch, B-E-L-C-H. Belch. Now, look at the red writing on the page. Big heart, most common. If you don't have a big heart, if you don't have cardiomegaly and heart failure. So if I said what's the most common finding on a radiograph of heart failure? Big heart. Now, belch, bat wings, effusions, line, cephalization, heart enlargement. So bat wings, that's engorgement of the hilum. E is effusions. Do I see puddles, like there's a costophrenic angle that's blunted? L is a preceptor pimping trick. So right here is a curly B line. It is a linear pleural base density. It's silly. Doesn't mean anything. If I said a wedge-shaped pleural density, that's Hampton's hum for PE. Okay. Now, right there is cephalization. Now, time out. Just so you guys know, a normal chest x-ray, the heart's 45-degree vector. The hilum is engorged. The blood vessels going south are more pronounced than the blood vessels going north. That's just because of gravity in breast tissue. Now, when the blood vessels going north are as engorged as the blood vessels going down, that's concerning for what we call cephalization, where the fluid is streaking towards the head. Now, let's just say my friend Deb and I, we're working together, and let's just say I have a little more seniority or maybe a little more experience in this one looking at x-rays. I taught radiographs. Maybe she comes to me and she says, hey, John, can you look at this film for me? Can you tell me, do you think that's cephalization of flow? Now, I want to be very crystal clear with you about what's going to go on in my head. I may be a little over dramatic, but don't let the point that I want to make fall through. So let's just say she says, hey, John, do you think that that's cephalization of flow? Let me tell you exactly what's going to go through my mind. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go. What was the patient's O2 sat when they came in? 86% of room air. Huh. What do the patient's lungs sound like? Oh, the bilateral rales in the lower bases. Huh. What's the patient's BN peptide? Oh, 1400. Huh. Yeah, that's cephalization. Of course it is. So what am I really telling you? Guys, we're not radiologists. I taught radiology for a long time. I think I'm slightly better than average. I don't think I'm really good at it, but I'm really good at tying things together. So I would never look at an x-ray without seeing the patient first, ever. Hey, can you just look at this ankle x-ray, tell me what you think? No, not without seeing the patient. Let me explain something. And I hope this isn't you. If it is you, I would encourage you to stop it today. Too many of us, I'm not saying I'm not immune to this, guys. I've gone through this gambit too. Someone falls, hurts their arm. Chief complaint is arm pain. Some of us maybe come in, do this half-ass exam. All right, I'm going to do the x-ray. And then they just lean on their x-ray. Like their physical exam was insignificant. So they're leaning on the x-ray for 95% of their diagnosis. Okay, so when the x-ray comes back, let's say you're reading it yourself. You got to look at about 40 centimeters. You got to look here and here and here and here and here and here and here. Bottom line is you got to look everywhere on the x-ray because you did such a piss poor exam, you don't even know whether they're maximally tender. Good luck. You're going to miss things your whole career. Now, what if you cranked up your physical exam today and you said, okay, wait. I'm gonna really dial it in today. I'm gonna really dial in my physical exam starting today. So let's say the person comes in, and guys, the bottom line is if it's a musculoskeletal injury, you got to hurt them. It's going to be uncomfortable. Warn them. Hey, listen, I'm sorry about this. I got to push, and you got to figure out exactly where it's tender because it's good for you. So you push here. Does it hurt? No. Does it hurt there? No. Does it hurt there? No. Does it hurt there? Oh yeah. Yeah, it hurts there. Guess what? When you get x-rays back, can we agree if you have an adult that's conscious and has no neuropathy, it's impossible to have a fracture where there's no broken bone in an adult. Is that fair? So bottom line is, I don't even have to look here because there's no tenderness, but right there I gotta look. Who in here's been on a medical mission trip before? A couple people? My experience on medical mission trips, you don't have radiographs. You better be a pretty good clinician. You better know what you're doing. And I'm saying that a good physical exam is more sensitive than a radiograph, but you gotta do a good physical exam. Heart enlargement. If you don't have a big heart, it's not heart failure, guys. Go somewhere else.